Colts Nation, welcome back to Colts Talk, presented by PrizePicks. Had a great time with you guys during the 2026 NFL Draft. We got into all the picks. We got grades. If you haven't yet, make sure you go watch those videos and give your grades on the Colts draft class. But as the draft ends, we immediately look to undrafted free agents that the Colts have brought in. Yes, the draft is over, but Wolf of Wall Street style, baby, we're not done. We're not leaving. We got more to do, more to talk about here on Colts Talk, so be sure to subscribe. The undrafted free agents that the Colts have brought in so far, they can technically can keep signing them, but we usually know the group they've brought in the first few days because it's a rush to sign these guys. Cameron Ball, a little bit on the defensive line, more on defense in Austin Brown. Wisconsin seems to be a little bit of a theme for the Colts in general. Ole Miss linebacker Tahj Chambers, Anderson Castle from Duke. We're going to talk about him. E.J. Horton, the wide receiver from Purdue. Nolan Rucci, Lincoln Pare, Jordon, Vaughn, more running backs to discuss, and then a little more from Raylen Sharpe, the wide receiver from Arkansas, and West Weeks, the linebacker from LSU. So we're going to break down all the undrafted free agents. We also have the list of minicamp invites that I'll give you guys at the end of the show. My question for you guys, do you think the Colts will make more roster moves? Maybe they'll pick up more undrafted free agents. Maybe they'll get regular free agents. Let me know what you guys think. If more moves are coming, heck, even a trade. Am I right? Type Y for yes. Type N for no. Let's talk about the beast of this undrafted free agent class. Really, you wouldn't think we'd be saying that, right? Like there's a top guy or there's a top name here. Cameron Ball's the dude. He is the guy out of this group. Mainly, I'll just start projected to be drafted in the 5th round. You can take that as, hey, he fell out and he fell, or you can take that as, hey, the Colts snagged a dude that was projected to be a 5th rounder. 2+ years of starting experience in the SEC, SEC football, SEC defense. Got to give it its credit. Can compete for a rotational spot early with his play recognition and high motor. Always love my defensive linemen to have high motors. So need to continue growing as a pass rusher beyond his initial moves. Yeah, that's one of the things that I kind of noted going through the stuff here on Cameron Ball. Good motor, needs a little more pass rush moves or pass rush ability to kind of help these guys out in general. I think he needs to get a little bit stronger, which is crazy. You see the big cam there. It was noted his lower body strength needs to be improved. So look, hey, you got big arms, use them, right? So I'm excited about Cameron Ball. Again, was projected to be a 5th round pick. Seems like he should be able to help the Colts out a little bit on defense. And Wisconsin, yeah, we're talking Badgers. We'll talk about them a couple times today. Austin Brown at the safety position. Look, we're taking as many swings at making sure this safety room is okay as we can. A.J. Halsey was drafted by the Colts in the 3rd round. We also know they made signings like Wanye Thomas, Jonathan Owens, right? Nick Cross leaves, and Chris Ballard wants to make sure he has all his Nick Cross replacements in order. It continues with Austin Brown. I think he could also play nickel for you, so that's an option there to replace Kenny Moore. Good physicality here. Only problem, little bit of limited playmaking while at Wisconsin. Wisconsin's really struggled in the Luke Fickell era. We'll keep an eye on Austin Brown to play safety or nickel corner. Versatile. You like that in a guy like Austin Brown. Before we get to the rest of the undrafted free agents for the Indianapolis Colts, good time to let you know today's show is presented by PrizePicks. I got to ask, why don't you have the PrizePicks app yet? You're watching sports. You may as well make money, win cash while watching sports. Basketball games, playoffs for basketball in general, daily baseball games, and if you want to mix it up, go for golf or soccer on PrizePicks. That's right. You can set up some easy-to-make lineups where you just pick more or less on a few player stats and you lock it in. Just like I've got this one locked in. I'm a planner. I like to look into the future. I like to get some things set up while I know them, right? The other day, I'm talking to producer Aiden Parise here. We get this bad boy ready to go. We're feeling good about it for the 2026 upcoming season. More on Dak Prescott's passing touchdown, more on Joe Burrow's passing yards. That's a season-long lineup there. If you like that, can always copy it. The new social feeds feature, just like social media, Twitter, anything like that. You'd follow me at Billy_BB. Can also follow producer Aiden. He's got good lineups too. Follow your friends. Share with your friends. You like a lineup your buddy has, you can just copy it right there on PrizePicks. Also, let me give you guys a new user offer today. You don't have the app? Great. Download the PrizePicks app today with the link in the comments and the description. Use code, here it is, HMA to get $50 in lineups. All you got to do, play your first $5 lineup. That's right. HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Ladies and gentlemen, on PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Boy, do they need linebackers, right? And yes, they got a good one in C.J. Allen, but the Colts, let's add some depth. Let's get some more guys in there. Give different players opportunity. Tahj Chambers from Ole Miss is the next name signed by the Colts as an undrafted free agent. Very interesting journey in college. Started as a wide receiver, then went to corner, now goes to linebacker to finish his career there. Look, overall theme when I read something like that, athletic. Let's see what he can do for the Colts given the opportunity. And then a position of need truly at the running back position. And I thought I probably really would have felt really strong that the Colts were going to take a running back in the draft at some point. Instead, they go the undrafted free agent route. That's more how they leaned, more what they wanted to do in this situation. And they do go with Anderson Castle from Duke here. Yes, Anderson Castle. Now, they did get Seth McGowan from Kentucky for their running back room, but they're going to take as many swings as they can, once again, to possibly shore up a group that needs a little extra. Castle here, short yardage specialist in college. So for Duke, the short yards, that 4th and 1, those goal line stands, gets in there, powers it in. We'll see what he can do possibly for the Colts. Hey, if you have a niche, may as well use it and try and make the team. Then receiver, another position where it's like, let's give as many bites at the apple as we can here, see if we can find a little bit of talent. I will say Purdue football, not great over the past few years here. Big game for E.J. Horton, notably against USC, 5 catches for 170 yards against the Trojans. Another dude, there's a lot on this list, specifically the undrafted free agents, transferred multiple times. That's the age of college football now, but I also think it is notable, never really stuck or found the success that he wanted, and then ended up at Purdue doing what he did in 2020. As we go through this list, you got a favorite? Somebody sticking out to you? Somebody you really want to watch for the Colts? Who is your favorite undrafted free agent signing by Indy? Let me know down below. Another one of the names that potentially was going to be drafted more towards the 7th round, right, for a guy like Nolan Rucci on the offensive line. And look, you get a little more versatility on the O-line with Rucci, and, he wasn't a full-time starter until year 5. I think that's notable. He is a former 5-star. Take that for what it is. And then, as I said before, took him till year 5 to be a starter. Really nice burst noted by our Tom Downey here. Solid run blocker once he gets his hands on his opponent. Needs more anchor, lets players get under him and push him around a little bit. Can't have that on the offense line. You hope you get into some NFL strength stuff. You work with more NFL players. You get more tips from other guys on the offensive line, and maybe a guy like Rucci can realize his potential there. We got to talk more running backs real quick. We got 2 more names to check out here. Lincoln Pare from Texas State, one of the names to watch competing for a running back spot. Look, fun facts here with him. He'll be 25 when he looks to get going for the Indianapolis Colts. Another 6 years of college football, dude. So he took advantage of the portal. He took advantage of the NCAA stuff, and he had a 6-year career. And look, the Colts need a little bit of running back help. He's one option. The other option, they also had Castle, and then now it's Jordon Vaughn for Abilene Christian that they want to give the opportunity to try and go out there and make the team for the Indianapolis Colts. Preseason's long. You need names to fill in, fill out, and go through the process there, the camps, mini camps, preseason, and then into the year. Plus, only 3 running backs set right now. You also have McGowan, who will compete, too, for time. And, look, I mark McGowan as possibly not a guy that makes the team for the Colts. So we'll see what happens there. Definitely need running backs, so I'm glad they brought in a couple through the draft and through undrafted free agents. And then Raylen Sharpe from Arkansas. I thought Taylon Green would be the Arkansas receiver that the Colts possibly go out and get. But hey, once again, you're looking for more options at that receiver position. I think receiver's another one where you get into the preseason, you get into the camps, you really want to see and have a lot of options to kind of sort through who you're looking for and why. We'll have our eyes on Raylen Sharpe, see what he's got there. That'll be somebody to watch in the slot receiver position for Indianapolis. And then a semi-familiar name, West Weeks from LSU, the linebacker. I don't get confused. Whit Weeks is the well-known LSU linebacker going into a big year for the Tigers. This is his brother, his older brother, that, look, came on as a fifth-year starter, had a good final season, gained a little bit of draft credibility. Obviously didn't get drafted, but a good opportunity for him to try and make the team. Took him 5 years, starter in his fifth year. You can see the numbers there. Weakness definitely gets swallowed up when taking on the offensive line. And get to that outside and make plays, but if he's trying to get after the quarterback, trying to get inside of the run, has a little bit of trouble with the offensive line. Taking swings at the linebacker position, right? You want to improve it. Guy like this, SEC defense, once again, we'll see what we can get from West Weeks. My question, out of the 10 undrafted free agents as of right now, how many make the Colts roster? Give me a number. How many undrafted free agents make the Colts roster? Let me know down below. And so these are also mini camp invites for the Indianapolis Colts. Some of these guys have multiple invites. Some of them don't last long after the invites, but definitely some guys to know here. More defensive line, offensive line help. Little bit of interest at tight end. Pretty set at tight end. I thought it was kind of funny for the Colts. We just had it as not a need, and they did not try to even address it. Really, only guy I'm super familiar with is Jayden Ballard. Was at Ohio State. Couldn't quite stick and get to that next level for the Buckeyes. He goes to Wisconsin, which was a disaster of an offense in 2025. So maybe you think once he gets with a little bit of real talent, he was okay at Ohio State with real talent. So I think if he gets on the Colts, may boost his confidence level a little bit, may help him out a little bit. He also has an offer from the Titans. So we will see what Jayden Ballard does there. Think to yourself, man, a whole video on undrafted free agents. Anything Colts. I told you we got it right here on Colts Talk.